Yeah, good morning to you all.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everyone.
How are you all? How is the COVID
Yeah, sir,
in
it's okay.
Varda?
In Varda, actually, they are in control right from the starting, so it's not no major issue here.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, right now it's okay because there is actually a decreasing graph here. The patients are getting decreased nowadays, and no casualties now, so it's okay now.
Yeah, yeah. Good news now. That
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
is the good news for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
From here we are going to share a PPT, sir. We just got your
Yeah,
PPT,
yeah.
and you just
Yes.
have to do, just ask us to do the next slide. We will just manage from here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. We will
Okay.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Myself, Dr. Yogesh Patinge, coordinator of postgraduate department. I have here Professor Amol Raut. He is a coordinator of entrepreneurship cell,
Namaste.
jointly organizing the workshop on entrepreneurship development, having different subjects. Today we have Dr. D. Vishnumurthy sir, Professor and Dean, Administration and Planning, Aditya Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Kukulam, Andhra Pradesh. My colleague will brief about him in a detail. uh, we had planned three lectures. This is day three of this particular webinar. We had a discussion on different subjects, and the motto behind organizing this seminar is to brief our students about just looking beyond the employment opportunities and to focus on entrepreneurship development. Now, I request my colleague, Professor Amur Rao sir, to give the brief description, information about our today's guest, Amur Rao sir.
Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to introduce our expert speaker, Dr. D. Vishnumurthy. Sir, he is working as a professor and dean at Aditya Institute of Technology and Management, Tekkali, Srikakulam, Andhra Pradesh. He had completed his education in BTech, MBA, and PhD. He had 25 years teaching and administrative experience. He has published 2015 national and international level paper. He is the chief coordinator of Entrepreneurship Development Cell and Business Incubation Center of Ministry MSME Government of India. As well, he is chief coordinator of ED Cell of Aditya Institute of Technology and Management Tekkali. He was the project coordinator for TQIP second of World Bank associated project by Ministry of HRD Government of India. He worked as a project engineer and manager for various organizations. He executed several projects of UGC, AICT and World Bank. He was a trainer for various agencies of government and NGO for the last 20 years. He was a chairperson for several seminars and workshop. He was honored with 7 distinct awards. He was a committee member of several government and other institutions. He is having a professional membership and life membership for Indian Society for Technical Education, New Delhi, Indian Red Cross Society, Institute of Engineers, and Indian Science Congress. Now I request Dr. D. Vishnumurthy sir to enlighten our student on the topic of influence of skill development intervention on the MSME sector of India. Dr. D. Vishnumurthy sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your nice introduction. So, hearty welcome to all the students and the faculty
Thank you, sir.
and my colleagues. And I must be first thankful to Somnath sir, Somnath Garu, for introducing me to the JS College of Commerce, Varda. And I'm thankful to both of you for introducing me and coordinating the activities.
Yes.
First of all, let me congratulate you for all the 2 days what has happened, and it was good for the students as well as faculty. Now, just I will share my experience, all this entrepreneur development uh, as a consultant and trainer to the MSMEs for last 20 years. Being an entrepreneur, I'm also an entrepreneur and researcher and trainer on this MSME. Now, just First, today, what is the agenda for this? Just you go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. Today, what to do? Just is an agenda for today. We just focus on quickly what is the meaning, because recently the meaning is changed. Now, what is the role of MSMEs in India? Then, what is the skill development, especially need for India? And then, what is the gap existing now? Then, to fill the gap, what are the government interventions and other interventions to fill the gap? Finally, we conclude what to do. So, this is the agenda today. One by one, we will discuss. So, if you have any queries, lastly, questions will be focused on that. So, you please reserve your questions. Then, lastly, with the help of our coordinators, you can ask me the doubts so that we can interact. Let me share my data and experience with you one by one. First, you know that what is the MSME meaning. Next slide, please. So, up to July 1st, 2020, this is the meaning of micro. Up to 25 lakhs, up to 10 lakhs of sanitary service enterprise in the equipment, as well as plant and machinery. Small, 25 to 5 crores. Then 10 lakhs to 2 crores. Medium, 5 crores to 10 crores. And 2 crores to 5 crores. Now this, next slide please. This definition is changed. Now both plant and machinery and turnover is added recently. This is a recent definition of micro, small and medium enterprises. You please look at that. See, micro means the investment up to 1 crore and turnover up to 5 crores. Of course, you know this. I'm just having a overview on this. The small up to 10 crores and the turnover up to 50 crores. Medium up to 50 crores and turnover up to 250 crores. This is the meaning of micro, small and medium enterprises recently. So far, what are the micro, small, medium? We may remain, maybe change it from micro to small or small to micro. Maybe so many changes are going on. So there is the meaning of the recent definition. Next slide, please. Yeah. So what is the role of MSMEs? You see that there are totally 633.38 million so MSMEs. In that, micro 630 and small 3.31 lakhs, medium 0.05. See, the total share of manufacturing 31%, trade 36%, and other services 33%. Next, so rural 324 and urban 309. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the employment, this is almost 111 billion. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is most important part of the contribution of Indian economy, the role of MSMEs. Now, this is considered the growth of engine. Then it contributes 33.4% of India's manufacturing output. It contributes 40% of GDP, employing around 120 million. Now, whatever just now we discussed 33.34 million units of MSMEs contributes 80% of total industries in India, in producing 8,000 products, and 40% of Indian exports are from MSMEs. So this is the main role. Please keep in mind so that what is the importance of the MSME and contribute to Indian economy for last so many years. That's why playing a critical role and vital role in Indian economy. That's why we want to focus on role of MSMEs. Next slide, please. You see that now rural and urban sector, rural 51%, urban 49% contribution. Generally, we feel that the urban have more industries, rural have no industries. No, this is not the dividend. Then very clearly, the rural has more share than the urban. Particularly in MSMEs. So among them, 95% are micro enterprises. Let's keep in mind, 95% of the enterprises from all these are micro. Only medium is very low and small is also very low. Next. Next slide, please. Okay, so generally the caste wise you see that 63% schedule. Generally feeling that schedule caste how many? That 12.5%. Yeah, schedule tribe 4.1%. Other backward classes 49.7%. The gender ratio is 80% male and 20% female. You see that how this female is very less 20%. There is a need to grow. Okay, there is a need to grow in India. Female contribution from this 80% male, 20% female. Next, geography. 7 Indian states contributes 60% of the total MSMEs. See, Uttar Pradesh 14%, West Bengal 14%, Tamil Nadu 8%, your Maharashtra 8%, then Karnataka 6%, Bihar 5%, and Andhra Pradesh 5%. See, total 7 Indian states contribute 60% of the MSMEs. Next slide, please. Now, see, this is the contribution of MSMEs, keep in mind. Now, coming to the skill development, what do you mean by skill? What do you mean by knowledge? What do you mean by ability? That we have to focus on that. So, knowledge is a basic knowledge. That means basics of the subject, basics of the technology, basics of the science. Is anything basics is called a knowledge. Then what is a skill? In the application of knowledge is skill. Then what is the ability? Ability is the multiplication of skill with the what is the skill and knowledge? Skill and knowledge multiplication is called ability. Ability multiplied by motivation is called performance. See, where the lagging, you please leave that all the students are requested, all the faculty are, please note that. So there is difference. So many are telling that skill, knowledge. But what do you mean by this? What do you mean by, are you able student? You have an ability, you have capability, you have a skill, you have a knowledge. What do you mean by all these basic terminologies? So please note that the knowledge is basics of anything. Basics of any subject. So for example, entrepreneurship. The basics of entrepreneurship is a knowledge. But what is the skill? Application of that knowledge into practice. Then it is called skill. So then skill multiplied by knowledge. If you have skill multiplied by knowledge, is called ability. Then ability multiplied by motivation is required. For entrepreneur, I want to be an entrepreneur, then this motivation is required. If you have an ability, but I have to motivate you, all the coordinators, you see that for all the 3 days they are motivating. That itself is you are improving your performance. That's why the ability multiplied by motivation is called performance. Now, coming to this today's topic is skill development. Then we focus on skill. Then if you have any questions, you can ask me last. Then what do you mean by skill here? What do you mean by skill development? See, I have some skills. Now you have to improve the skill sets. What are the skill? Then you have communication skills. Then what skills required for the entrepreneur? Business skills you need. Then communication skills you need. Negotiation skills you need. Then entrepreneurship skills, motivation skills you need. Then marketing skills you need. There are some of the skills you need, my dear friends. So you have to improve. The skill development means you have to improve the skills. What are the skills you have in the entrepreneur? I repeat, no entrepreneur needs skill, business skills, then communication skills, motivational skills, negotiation skills, then the managerial skills. Most importantly, managerial skills. So marketing skills. These are all the skill set we need for entrepreneur. So if you have all the skills, if you have no skills, then you have to improve. That is called skill development. Development means what are the things which you are doing. You have to develop. If I have, okay. But if I don't have, I have to develop it. That is called skill development. So skill development is definition is very clearly. So that improve your skill sets, improve your proficiency, ability to perform a work. You can able to perform the work or not. That you have to see that. Then you have to complete the task at the right time and the speedy. Nowadays in technology is playing a role. That's why you have to see that. Now, what is the difference between that? You take a prepared skill employee over other, they benefit the same way with the proficient working. For example, you take a carpenter, then you have to make a table and chairs. A skilled manpower, he needs 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. But whereas unskilled man, he required 1 week. That is the difference. Skilled and unskilled, that is the difference between skilled and unskilled. Unskilled needs more time, maybe 1 week, but the same job can be done if you have a skilled people within 3 hours. So that is the difference. So this is what is a skill development. If you have a skill, then you have to develop it. Everybody have a skill, but you have to develop them, but which is not sufficient for performing your efficiency. Improve your efficiency. That's why you have to improve it. That's why if you want to improve your skill set, that is called skill development. That is what you mean by skill development. Thank you. Next slide. Yeah. Then why this skill is important for this? I told you already. You have to. It is a mandatory. Now, what are the engineering students and commerce students and business students? No, even doctor have skill. I have a knowledge, but I have no skill. So nowadays it is a mandatory. That's why what are skill development to focus? The main objectives are you have to improve your skills and knowledge. I told you. You have to improve the productivity. You have to improve the ability to work efficiently and effectively. Then which contributes the GDP. Then financial growth and the community development, you have to see that. Then finally, imagine a scenario. I told you the example of a carpenter, which the difference between the skilled and unskilled, the difference. That's why it is important. The skill is important for all nowadays, for everybody, it is a mandatory. Next, please. Yeah, this is why this skill development is necessary for India. Previous slide, please. Yeah. So this is why skill development important for India. Yes, you see that so many millions of engineers graduating every year, but only 20% of employment. Why? No skill. There is a survey. For engineering students, there is a survey. Only 20% of the engineers are skillable, which are employable, who are employable. There is a survey, total workforce in India. 25% of Indian workforce has undergone a skill development program. 75% have no skills. Only 25% of the Indian workforce has undergone skill. So this focuses the need for the skill development. 75% people have no sufficient skills. I am not saying that no skill, but the skill which improves efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity is the most important part. So they don't have. So you see that Indian focus on skill development that gives this focus on GDP. So WTO World Trade Organization has given a very good statistics. GDP can be increased up to 3 to 5% by 2035 if India focuses on skill development and training. That's why the government of India focusing on skill development now. That's why they're very, very critical and very analytical survey given by the World Trade Organization. So it can improve 3 to 5% GDP. Now you see that more than youngest nations in the world, India is 65% workforce. 50% force of people, young force, below age of 28. So they need great need for the skill development. What is the need for India, especially young India, needs a skill so that it will be very, very helpful to GDP, very, very helpful to the employability, very, very much helpful to the Indian economy. That's why especially it is focusing on skill development for India. Next slide, please. In future, what will happen? How the skill development shaping the skill development for the future of India? So previous slide, please. It improves it improves. It improves personality development, and it improves talents and increase the career growth opportunities for the young India, especially to work in that. Previous slide, please. Previous slide, please. Yeah, previous, not later. Previous slide. Yeah. Previous. Before slide. Yeah. Future India, future please. Yeah, this is one. So you see that employability in 70% people. Now, what is the government of India focusing on? 70% of placements in every engineering college and business India, then even management, right? In commerce students. So that's why first one employability. Next slide please. Personal development. Then talent. Then dropouts. Then career growth opportunities. These are how the skill development shapes the future of India. It definitely shapes the future of India. It lies in that. So if it is the case, so what is the position of now? What is the skill gap? Next slide, please. We want to increase it. What is the skill gap? Now there is a task force on MSME sector. They now focus on MSME sector. There is a skill gap. So how this? A task force clearly mentioned that. Last point you see that. Though the lack of availability, high cost of credit, collateral requirements and all these things. But our focus is on lack of skilled manpower for manufacturing, services, marketing, etc. You see that last point, which I focused and bolded, then you see that. Now, in the Minister's task force identified lack of skilled manpower for manufacturing, service and marketing. This one. Then next slide, please. There is a skill gap. It is task force or see. You see that sector-wise performance of skill development. You see that every sector in MSMEs, electronic system, number of trainees, percentage of total trainees, then IT and BPM, electrical machinery, then textile garments, food processing, entrepreneurship. Here you see that entrepreneurship and skill development, only 21,814 only got tried. Health and healthcare. Now, GS College of Commerce focusing on entrepreneurship and skill development. Then you see that identified 21,814 only so far trying. Still, what is the gap? You see that. In healthcare, beauty and wellness, tourism, hospitality and travel, automobile, building and construction, real estate. Now, these are only the number of trainees tried so far in that. See, is it sufficient? All these sector-wise performance of skill development. Is it sufficient? There is a question. Then you see that what is the gap? So only 24%, only electronic system they got tried out of the total. Now the retail where we need. Then after COVID, you see that healthcare need more demand now. It's totally healthcare, tourism also nowadays is a rising question. Then this sector-wise performance of skill development. So this number of trainees enough for all this MSME sector. All this is the MSME sector. The source is the Minister of MSME. They have given this the data. Then trained. That's why this table indicates. So what is the gap? So where is the gap? Then the trainees, number of trainees is not enough for these sectors. Next slide, please. So now you see that educational background of skilled manpower in India. It is very key point to note that 30% of the skilled manpower so far available in India illiterates. See that 25% their education is up to primary, 18% middle, 12% secondary, higher secondary 6%. You see that 30 plus 25, 55 plus 18. 73 plus 12, 85. 85 plus 6, no, 91. Almost. See, the people are, up to higher secondary only. Only 2% graduates in skilled manpower. Only 2% graduates. See the fate of India. Then diploma and certificate courses 1%. Where is the government of India focusing on that? Skilled certification is needed. Okay, you have some education, but certification course only 1% people are having diploma. Then skilled manpower is available only India. The graduates are only 2%, my dear friends. Just you take the graduates and diploma certificate courses, these only 3%. All 97% you see how they are. This is the educational background of skilled manpower in India. So this is what is focusing, and this gives the skill gap. This gives you the clearly indicates that. So what is the need for training? What is the need for skill development in India, especially in MSME sector? In MSME sector, there is a wide gap, large gap of the skill development in India. This indicates education background itself is indicates. So even on 95% are up to say higher secondary. So how can they absorb the knowledge and skills if the technology is increasing? So in the technology era, computer era, how they can grasp? You see that. Whatever the technology you can train them, will they able to grasp it? If they have sufficient knowledge, then sufficient skills. We are ready to impart the skills, but are they ready to absorb it? Are they ready to accept it? Are they ready to read it? Able to read it? Able to study it? Able to absorb it? Able to read it? Then able to accept it. Some fear. They are having fear. In my own, my personal experience of in my own enterprise. So I have an education. I'm an entrepreneur, edupreneur in education as well as in the fire industries. So they are having fear. Just we are giving that this is a new thing, which new tool came. You please just you sir, tomorrow sir, please don't sir, please sir, tomorrow sir. Why tomorrow? Why not today? Because they are not having sufficient knowledge. They are having fear because I have no education background. So am I able to? If I insist them to learn it and do it, then they may get fear. Okay, my improvement will not be there. Then my sir may get angry on me. That's why they are not interested to take that. So this is more important, my dear friends and my dear colleagues, to see that. Now, next slide, please. Now, what is the skills demand in sector? You see, sector-wise, please focus on that. This is the most important part of this today's presentation. This much wide gap is there, but each sector, what they need actually. You take the textile and clothing, we need power loom operators, apparel manufacturing, fashion design, then the knitwear manufacturing operators are not available. Sewing machine operators, general traditional sewing machine operators are available. But recently technology came, then automatic knitting machines came, automatic sewing machines came, but people are not able to do that. Even though we have given a training for the ready-made garment manufacturers in Visakhapatnam, in Andhra Pradesh, then in various parts of the Andhra Pradesh, even in Orissa, Bhubaneswar, then I went to Madhya Pradesh, then I went to then Tamil Nadu. Then Tamil Nadu people are somewhat better than other people. Then because they are proficient enough, then the ready-made garments are. I went to Ahmedabad and I went to Mumbai. So in Maharashtra, then they are sufficient. They are having some skilled people. I went to Surat. They are very good at textiles. That's why they are very good. Compared to others, they are very good. Where the skill developed in that area. If you go to Surat, very cheap price available for that, because the productivity is more in this Surat compared to other parts of the country. Even if you compare with other countries, of course, our productivity is very low. That is a different issue. Now, these are in building construction. In building construction, even machines are not tried properly. Even throughout the country, just I myself have given with the government of Andhra Pradesh help. So we have given 8,000 trainers in machinery. Machines we have given training. But out of this many, it is very surprised to know that so only 10% people are practicing machines, even though they are getting good wages, but they are not practicing. So they trained, but still people are. I asked them why. So why you are not going to the construction, sir? Just I have a work at home, sir. After completion, I will go. But you see that. So trained. That means they are not sufficiently, efficiently, I can say, trained. During the training period also, they are not serious. If serious people, they are earning better than the people. I given training on. Then we have given training on the to welders, electricians. So even in every state also, sufficient plumbers, especially in rural area, skilled plumbers are not available. Even some repair if you get at our house, if you call the name plumber is skilled plumber is not available. He is doing experiment. He is opening the pipes and doing this, something cracked, sir, cracked, sir. We need a new joints, new pipes, a new couple, a new T joint. We need new, sir. Arey, why you got this crack? No, sir, because they tightened very clearly. They tightened high tight. They have given, crack has come. Once crack has come, they are not blaming themselves. They are blaming on the product. Sir, it is not good quality. I will get the good quality. You give me 500, you give me 1,000 rupees, I will get it. So this is the position, my dear friends, my dear colleagues. See, a very skilled manpower in India. See, these are all from the MSME sector. All these are a service, they are doing service sector, either micro, small and medium enterprises only. So, like the carpenters, painters, even painters. Building construction industry, really daily they need. Even our houses also, you see that TV repair, somebody is getting experiment on my apparatus, experiment on my equipment, experiment on my TV, but they are not skilled. So they are sending small boys. The main operator is somewhere. He is sending boys. That boys did not train so far. What they do? They do experiment on our equipment. So this what they do? Something they do. But if it is okay, okay. Otherwise, you will call the main operator, sir, this is not done. So I will come tomorrow, then you come back. So this is like this, auto components, OEMs, service, repair, finance services. So you please go through this. Each and every sector, they need skilled manpower. This is a lot of gap, especially for entrepreneurship, especially in micro, small, medium enterprises, my dear friends. This badly need the skill. There is a list of key skills in demand now. Anywhere you can question me where this lacuna is not there in every sector. No, very very clearly, some of the sectors are very known to us. If you go to Punjab, missionary. If you go to Calcutta, any missionary can be duplicated immediately. Then, if you go to Surat, Maharashtra, textiles. They are very, very good at textiles. Very famous. Now, Ludhiana, missionary. No, the sufficient skills they acquired. That's why. If you go to Coimbatore, then all the electrical missionaries, all electrical based things are very, very clear. So, they available. Why you are going for that? So, they are well known sector in that. They are well known sector in that. So that's why you have to see that what will happen. Yeah, please. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. Just we are
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, like so in our own state, granite is improving, but granite operators are not there. See, it is very surprised to give you note that we are getting. Then bakery, we are getting labor from Bihar. in our Srikakulam district, it's are there that we are getting from, so all this construction, so all this bakery we are getting from Bihar. For granite industry, we are getting from Bihar, labor. So they are skilled. For wood manufacturing, tables, no, wooden doors. Recently, I met the Bihar people during COVID. So they came from Bihar and they settled in Srikakulam, and they are doing very good work. All this, each and every state is famous for that. In our Srikakulam is famous for the Kerala is famous for coir. Any coir-based products, you go to Kerala. Any coconut-based product, you go to Kerala. Then they are famous. They are skilled. Now, what I mean to here, famous means skilled manpower is there. That's why they are developed like anything. So this demand gap gives you MSM sector has to have a potential. These gaps can be minimized for better growth in India. Okay. Next. Next, now, how the government intervenes to fill the gap. What the government is doing? What the government is doing? New ministry in 2014, they have framed the National Skill Development Corporation under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. We are very much thankful to JS College of Commerce, which is focusing on entrepreneurship and skill development. We are thankful to all the faculty, all the principal and all the administration, all the management to focus on particular entrepreneurship and development. So very, very, very need of the hour in India. So under the Minister of Skill and Skill Development, now previously Minister of MSME is there, but there is a separate ministry, Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So they focus on this. So they have National Skill Development Agency and Director General of Training. The National Skill Development Fund is there. They are allocated, especially National Skill Development Corporation is there. Under this, sector skills councils are given. Then they have taken support from the private sector. So this is the setup where the new ministry has given this on 10th November 2014. Next slide. Yeah, how they are operating. NSDC means National Skill Development Corporation. So they are getting private sector funding, sector skill councils, then the Government of India schemes and CSR projects also. Under this sector skill, there are 40 councils. I will show you next slide. What are the specific sector where we discussed previously. Each and every sector has a skill gap. That skill gap can be filled with the councils. So private sector operations, they are in the way. Now GOI, the Government of India have framed 3 important schemes. That is a STAR, compiled, PMKY, KUY, KVY, that is Prime Minister Kausal Vikaya Yojana, Udan, special project for, it is a special project for Jammu and Kashmir. So the grant will be given under this NSDC. Next. These are these councils, you see that I told you, 40 sector skill council for industry connect. So each one sector, you see that primary sector plus life sciences and PWD, you see that agriculture, food processing, green jobs, life science, persons with a disability. They have given sector. Then next you see manufacturing sector, you see there are 20. So automotive, rubber, gyms and jewelry, electronics, hardware, leather, capital goods, construction, aviation, aerospace, all this 20, you see that they are set up the councils and then they linked with the industry. So to automotive, don't give a training on your own. Just what are the automotive companies are there, just you connect with them. What is just what we call as on the job training, OJT. So this is a skill they have to develop on the job itself. So that's why 40 councils. You come to the service sector, you see that all the 15 service sectors are there. So where the skill development? These 40 skill councils are focusing on giving skill development in particular sector as mentioned in our slide. I hope you understood. Thank you. Next slide. Next slide, please.
Just a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, how this framework, this is the NSDC, how this framework is going on in the government. There are giving a training, then they developed some of the industry with it. Who are the providers for the training? So there are 300 training providers spread across 9,000 plus centers in India. Every district now have 2 to 3 training centers under NSDC. So they are specifying, for example, in our area, I told you granite industry. Now in our area, they specifically training is given for operators in granite industry. There is a training center set up in our own district. Like this, each and every district have roughly throughout India. Now we are expanding now. Now at most 9,000 plus centers in India are there to give a sector specific training, my dear friends and colleagues. Next slide, please. Now, see that how private sectors are engaging. You see that now NSDF, then all this NSDC, SSC, then NTPC, Vizag Steel Plants, then just all this right side you see that 39 projects, totally 3,26,719 beneficiaries got benefited from this. All the government projects under CSR, corporate social responsibility project, 2% funding is there, no? From 2% funding, they are availing that. Next slide. They conclude now. Even Tata and other groups, Birla, then GMR Foundation, and all others also, they are involving in the this training, skill training. So even Tata recently, Tata Skill Foundation, so they are given under Tata Trust. You know that Ratan Tata announced this so much of help to the Skill India. In each and every, in our own district, Tata Foundation is there. Then they are giving training to all the young India for the skill gap. So they are rising the skill gap. So, but they are reducing that skill gap. So much of skill gap is in Srikakulam district. In our own district itself is a backward district. So that's why Tata has given training. Now, finally, my dear friends and colleagues, so what do we conclude? What do we conclude? From so many interventions and different players, from the government as well as private players, so problem remains. But what is the problem in implementation? That's why we need sound monitoring and control mechanism is a need of the hour. Then rising skill gap is a problem. And by 2022, what the focus is? Sometimes we don't have a skilled manpower. So finally, what we conclude? A human resource without having adequate skills becomes unemployed. Most of the unemployable. Now they are not skills. But here in India, manpower, everywhere manpower. But skilled manpower is where? The question. Industry people are asking. Confederation of Indian Industry. I attended a meeting. They asked that. Recently, Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, CIMSME, National Wide Enterprise, they are asking, where is the manpower is there, but where is that? So now this is need for this. We conclude every industry, every MSME has to focus on skill development. Please to develop the entrepreneurship. Whatever the entrepreneurship in MSME they can develop. Once they develop, definitely India will become a skill India. Definitely, which contributes the growth of the MSME sector in India. Now open forum for questions, please. Any questions, please? So you can ask me the questions. Please chat box
Sir,
or anywhere. Please.
Sir, we have a different setup here. Actually, we are just streaming this video on YouTube platform live. So
Okay.
we will for our students, they are actually watching this YouTube live stream the entire classes of our college, right from BCom to MBA. So
Okay.
we developed that setup. We are just here on a Google Meet, but students are watching this on YouTube live. So the
Very good.
streaming is live there. We will
Yeah.
club those questions, and in meantime, we will mail you if they have some questions.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
please.
sir. Actually, it's being a very in-depth knowledge we got here. Human resource without skill is not of any use. Means we have a lot of
Yes.
human resource, but if they don't have the skill, it is not of any use. You had narrated us very good examples of that particular plumber and that cracks, and that one is actually very interesting because actually very day-to-day example we just used to for that.
Yes.
Skill development concepts helps our students to improve their personality development and
Yeah.
increase their career growth opportunities. So thank you very much, sir. I extend my sincere gratitude to you for this in-depth lecture on influence of skill development, inventions of the MSc sector of India. I'm very much thankful to you for giving your precious time to us and briefing our students. We will collect all those questions and I will mail to you about if there are any queries about all this topic. I'm also thankful to Somnath sir. Actually, with the help of Somnath sir, we are
Yeah.
in contact with you. In future, if there are some different subjects related to MSME, skill development, career opportunities, we will certainly call you, sir, and we will take your time for that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much, sir.
Sure.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So I'm very much thankful to Somnath sir and both of you personally.
Yeah,
Young India has seen you, so you can call me at any time, any help. So I'm proud of you because of JS College of Commerce focusing on entrepreneurship skill development.
yeah,
They're a very good topic, which is the need of the hour. Recently, I have given this. What is the impact of COVID on MSMEs?
yes, sir.
So there also very good questions they came. Young India have more no doubts.